Now, I feel like with Hugh and with Echo Loco, there was like a through line, or there was like a theme that it was something you were passionate about. What is it? Was it Yeah, describe that passion that you had.
I hope this doesn't put anyone off if I
Mm,
tell you that I only realized what the common denominator was
mm,
of those two after I'd gotten out of it. So,
gotcha.
just for context, also before Ecolocal, I had a project to raise awareness on veganism. I tried to do it with like a combination of a website slash blog and an Instagram account that has the same name.
Mhm.
I call that my first entrepreneurial stint slash first failure. But point being, I look back at some point. I think it was, I forgot when actually, sometime last year. I look back at some point and said I was a bit confused. Why am I doing all these things? Like seemingly not the same. It's kind of social problems. It's kind of not.
Mhm.
And then it just hit me that I am frustrated at the information gap between Japan and the rest of the world, especially when Japan is a bit behind. So veganism was, I was frustrated in 2018 when people thought literally that being vegan was being part of a cult. And I got that comment. And I was like, no, this is just ridiculous. Like the rest of the world, even if like population of veganism is tiny, at least everyone knows what it is.
Mm.
Um, and then fast forward to 2020, it was a similar frustration I had with the whole topic of sustainability, eco-friendly. There's in Japan you get like air conditioners and cars that have like an eco sticker on it, or even like a one single banana that has an eco stamp, but it's in like double layer plastic, which is something you never see anywhere else, right? So
Mm.
that was a frustration. And then with Dokoni, it wasn't easy to see at first, but I think this whole thing of globalization and like global trend of viral content, I guess it's not that easy to see with Dokoni, but I think for me it was like let's less focus on globalization, more focus on localization or local things,
Okay.
local stores, local restaurants, um, because it was like I was always frustrated with this gap that either Japan is behind or Japan is being eaten up. And yeah, I only identified that like basically last summer as I was exiting Dokoni, which is kind of interesting.
Interesting. And this was not what I was imagining that you were gonna say, but I'm glad you said that. I was thinking, well, I mean, you kinda tied it in with veganism, right? So, I was thinking like food, like it was something about your lifestyle that reflected in, like, both of these businesses. Was
Yeah, I
Am
thought
I
so
right when
too.
I say? Yeah. Am I right to
I
say
actually
that?
thought so too.
Okay.
Yeah, 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 and that's actually what I used to think about myself
Okay. Gotcha.
until basically this woman I met online or on social media, she gave me sort of a free like session to really like just do brainstorming, brain dumping, and she was really good. Japanese only, by the way. But
Mhm.
um, and basically, she had this. I guess she has this gift of just like showing you. I think this is your gift, or I think this is your thing. And in one session, she was like, "You seem to be really good at importing stuff." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, think about it. And then that was kind of the aha moment for me, where everything tied together. And it's like, no, it's not the fact that I'm most passionate about food. I'm not most passionate about, social oppression or animal oppression.
Mhm.
I am, yeah, but it's not the thing at the top of the list. I think the bigger frustration for me was the fact that Japan was behind on all this awareness. That makes sense?
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I got you. Now, you talk. I follow you on social, and you post a lot of content, and you're on it. You're pumping out that content way more than I am. I'm just like every time I see you, I'm like, wow, she's just killing it, man. She got the babies and the you know doing your thing with business, and juggling it all, but, yeah, so you talked about passion and how that's passion alone doesn't make you successful in business. Can you elaborate on that? Any thoughts you have on that?
Yeah, I mean, partly, of course, it comes from my own experience, which is, I thought I picked topics and areas that I was most
Mm,
passionate about solving these problems. Then the second kind of passion comes from when we started doing actual businesses and, charging people for services or products. Um, how do I say, like I think I have to admit, we never had like a hardcore financial goal. Towards the end of Dokoni, we did because it was getting clear that we really need to focus on, yearly goal and drill that down per month and stuff like that. But I
mhm,
think for the longer part of my entrepreneurial from 2020 to 2020, mid 2024, it was, I think Japanese people say this a lot, but when you're really passionate and you're really giving it your all, then money will come later.
mm.
The money will follow. And I'm like, and I actually really believed in it. And I thought, yeah, because I'm so smart to a certain degree, right? And I've had my fair share of experience in business in these large multinational companies,
Mm,
et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, I can't be that far off of making money. I just need to just give it my all, be original, be authentic, be transparent, at least have a bit of a goal, but not really fixate on that and just go all in, and then the money will follow. And I'm like, how wrong was I, right? So that is something that I think, you know, when we say passion and entrepreneurship, I think there's two parts. One is the what topic or what service or what area do you pick to put yourself in?
Mhm,
And that for me, like I just said, I think I, could have gone deeper. I don't know. I mean, I don't regret anything, but basically, I realized that I thought what I thought was just one level above what my actual deepest passion is, which is the gap between Japan and the world in terms of information, right? And the second aspect of passion is, like how you put yourself into that. Of
mhm,
course, you can do that better if number one is tick boxes ticked because you're passionate about the topic. But if you're just passionate about serving your customers and doing this, reiterating, and then the money will follow.
mhm.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.